Monday, May 8, 2023, morning edition. Please pardon any visual inaccuracies in this AI-generated video. But first, this day in history.
413, Emperor Honorius signs an edict providing tax relief for the Italian provinces Tuscia, Campania, Picenum, Samnium, Apulia, Lucania, and Calabria, which were plundered by the Visigoths. 1608. A newly nationalized silver mine in Scotland at Hildeston, West Lothian is reopened by Beavis Bulmer. 1758. The Maratha Empire captures Peshawar from the Durrani Empire in the Battle of Peshawar. The Maratha Empire was extended to its farthest distance away from Pune that it ever reached. Over 2,000 kilometers, 1,200 miles, almost to the borders of Afghanistan. Today's necrology, people of note and notoriety who have died.
Grace Bunbury, 86, American opera singer. Sona Cervena, 97, Czech operatic mezzo-soprano. Lindsay Crocker, 64, New Zealand cricketer, Northern Districts and sports administrator. Viktor Jalilov, 71, Uzbek football player and manager, Politodel, Navbahor, Paktikor, Tashkent. Death announced on this date. Vladimir Daibo, 92, Russian linguist, member of the Russian Academy of Sciences. And now on to today's news.
Another 2 horses die after Churchill Downs races, this time on Kentucky Derby Day. Lexington Herald Leader, AI summary of the story. Chloe's Dream was euthanized after race 2 at Kentucky Derby 2023, bringing the total number of horse deaths at Churchill Downs to 7.
Warriors versus Lakers. Golden State has an Anthony Davis problem, and starting Jordan Poole might be the answer. CBS Sports, AI summary of this story. The Lakers are leading the Warriors 2-1 after a 127-97 victory. But LeBron James and Stephen Curry haven't been the pivotal matchup. Instead, the most significant impact has been on the sideline, with coaches making adjustments to optimize their teams. Game 1 saw Warriors coach Steve Kerr starting with 2 non-shooters as double bigs, while Lakers coach Darvin Ham capitalized on their weakness. In Game 2, Kerr put the ball in Curry's hands, which was made more effective by starting 4 shooters, then flipped the lineup in Game 3. But ultimately, it wasn't enough to overcome the Lakers.
Study. Sons of women with PCOS up to twice as likely to develop obesity. The Washington Post. It's an AI summary of this story. Sons of women with polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, are up to twice as likely to develop obesity compared to peers, a study in Cell Reports Medicine found. Research followed 9,828 male infants born to such women between July 2006 and December 2015 in Sweden, with 147 of those boys eventually diagnosed with obesity. About 2 in 100 Swedish boys born to mothers with PCOS became obese during childhood, compared with about 1 in 100 of their peers. PCOS affects up to 20% of women worldwide, according to a 2020 literature review.
Jordan Neely latest. Protesters block NYC subway as ex-Marine Daniel Penny identified in chokehold. The Independent. AI summary of this story. A statement released by attorneys for Daniel Penny regarding the fatal choking of a homeless performer on a New York subway has been criticized by the family of the deceased. Penny, a former Marine, was one of 3 passengers who allegedly acted in self-defense against Jordan Neely after the victim had been threatening fellow passengers. Attorneys for Neely's family called the statement an admission of guilt. On Monday, vigils and protests demanding justice for Neely took place at New York subway stations, while 13 people were arrested in connection with a Saturday demonstration.
Arab League brings Syria back into its fold after 12 years. Al Jazeera English, AI summary of this story. The Arab League has approved Syria's return to the bloc's fold, with foreign ministers agreeing to reinstate the country's membership after its suspension more than a decade ago. The decision comes amid a flurry of regional normalization of ties with Damascus in recent weeks. Syria's membership was revoked after President Bashar al-Assad's 2011 crackdown on protesters, which spiraled the country into a civil war that has since killed nearly 500,000 people and displaced 23 million. The vote took place following a meeting of top regional diplomats from Egypt, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Syria in Jordan last week.
Viral video shows Grim Reaper at King Charles's coronation. Hindustan Times. AI summary of this story. King Charles III was crowned alongside Queen Consort Camilla in a grand ceremony at Westminster Abbey on May 6th, witnessed by millions worldwide. A video from the event has gone viral on social media, with viewers speculating that the hooded figure with a long rod in the footage might be the Grim Reaper. Since being tweeted, the video has garnered over 3.6 million views and prompted many to leave their thoughts in the comments section.
Prince Harry makes swift exit from King Charles's coronation to return to L.A. The Guardian AI summary of this story. Prince Harry returned to Los Angeles after attending his father's coronation celebrations in the UK. He arrived back in time to celebrate his son Archie's 4th birthday. The Duchess of Sussex spent the day with their son at their home near Santa Barbara. The Duke of Sussex made a brief visit to the UK for the coronation and was seated between Princess Alexandra and Jack Brooksbank during the ceremony, while his family home in Montecito is at least a 2-hour drive from the airport.
Transcript, Senator Kyrsten Sinema on Face the Nation, May 7th, 2023, CBS News. AI summary of this story. On Face the Nation on May 7th, 2023, Senator Kyrsten Sinema was interviewed by Margaret Brennan. During the interview, Brennan commended the forum for celebrating Senator McCain's values, such as straight talk, and shared that McCain had had the most appearances on Face the Nation in its 69-year history. Sinema joked that she might not be able to break McCain's record of 112 appearances.
6 injured when HVAC equipment collapsed into resort pool in Aurora, Colorado. CNN summary of this story. 6 people were injured, 2 with life-threatening injuries, when a heating, ventilation, and air conditioning equipment collapsed at the Gaylord Rockies Resort and Convention Center in Colorado, USA. Multiple calls were received, and several units, including the technical rescue team, were sent to the scene with between 100 guests believed to be present during the incident. The condition of those injured remains undefined.
Japan leader expresses sympathy for Korean colonial victims. The Associated Press, AI summary of this story. South Korea and Japan's leaders had their second summit in less than 2 months to strengthen cooperation in the face of challenges such as North Korea's nuclear program. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida expressed sympathy for the suffering of Korean forced laborers during Japan's colonial rule, which was closely watched in South Korea. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol faced domestic criticism for preemptively making concessions to Tokyo. Many in South Korea still harbor strong resentment against Japan's colonial occupation of the Korean peninsula.
Female astronauts may be the ticket for Mars trips. Newser. AI summary of this story. All female astronaut crews may be more efficient during long missions, according to a study published in Scientific Reports. Women use less water and oxygen and produce less carbon dioxide than men. An all-female crew of 4 could save $158 EDF on food. Women also have a more efficient body type than men. This confirms a thesis from the 1950s and highlights the advantages of gender diversity in space exploration. Sally Ride became the first woman in space in 1983. And now a silly joke or 2 or 3 to lighten the mood after all the heavy stuff.
What do you call corn that joins the army? Colonel. How come the stadium got hot after the game? Because all of the fans left. Why couldn't the lifeguard save the hippie? He was too far out, man.
Hope you enjoyed today's Artificial Intelligence-generated news digest. For more, please like, subscribe, hit the bell button to activate notifications, and make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.